Hi everyone, and thank you for visiting my garden. So today I've got two jobs in particular that I want to get done. One of them is behind me here, and it's cutting back one branch of a very large lilac that's blocking a path. And the other job is I have a small but very well established old piece of ivy that's growing up the railing at the side of the house, the side entrance. And I want to, if I can, I want to dig that out, and I'm going to plant a clematis there. So this is the entrance to my newly developed woodland garden. So I'll put a link in the description box below. This area here, which is very shady, and where I'm creating the woodland garden, was just completely overgrown and there was no path through it. So I made a whole video where I sort of dug the plants out and I laid a path through, and that was earlier in this year. And then it's never stopped raining for about a month, so all the plants have just become huge. This is the beginning of the path through into the woodland area, and I kid you not, within a matter of 2 weeks the lilac has finished flowering and all the leaves have come out, and he is growing up here. And I'll show you outside the wall. And when that area of the garden there was just, well, sort of wasteland really, it was where I put the overspill plants. It didn't matter that the lilacs were spilling back into the garden as well, and they are beautiful, but I know if I don't keep this path clear, then I won't keep the woodland garden. It'll just, nature will just claim it back. So if I put the camera through the branches there, you can see the path that I created there. So if you look down at the lilac trees at the base, that one there, all those stems are growing straight up and then over the wall. Yes, but this branch here is just growing back over and into the garden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut him off at the base, and then in another video the Wigelia here has finished flowering, so I'm going to cut about 6 foot off the top of him. He's about at least 12 foot tall at the top. I'm going to cut him right back down to here, shape him in and keep him quite low, and that will open up this whole area, and I'll be able to see over and into the woodland garden, because this area is always in deep shade. So I want to try and get a bit more light in, and the Wigelia and that huge lilac stem there do block some of the evening light. Right, so my thinking is I'm going to do a little bit at a time, so I don't spoil the shape of the lilac. So I'm thinking to take out these smaller stems here. I hope you can see, I've brought the camera under the canopy again. We must stop meeting this way. This is really good, this saw. I don't know whether it's specifically a gardening saw, but I've had it for years. Never sharpened it. Maybe you can tell. What I'll do is I'll try and get the cut almost through, and then I'll move the camera back so you can see what I can't. You can see what a difference it's making. Right, so I'm going to stop and move the camera back now. Right, I'll pop back in and finish removing that branch. So it's here. That's where I'm trying to open the space up. I really need a cameraman, don't I? See what that looks like. Oh, that's better. Right, so I think I need to take that one off there as well. So yeah, that's definitely made a difference, isn't it? We're going in the right direction there. Right, I'll go and saw that final piece out. This will make a huge difference to me when I'm walking along this path. If the pathway's all overgrown with branches and they get all wet, it means I get all wet, and that'll put me off gardening. And it rains a lot in England. There we go. Whoops. Right. Ow. Right, that's another one. So I've taken these two big branches off now. Oops. So I've taken these two big branches off now, and I think that'll make all the difference. Let's have a look. Let's see what you can see. Oh yeah, that's much better. So you can see right along that path now. And if it's nice weather tomorrow, I might take that Wigelia down, because he has finished flowering now. So it's perfect time. Right, so I've been having a think about this ivy. This is the side entrance to our house. It's where everyone uses this entrance, and this ivy tends to grow wild and sort of spill over here. So my thinking is, now it's been here for years, I'm going to cut it right down, cut it all off, try and get rid of it. And I thought I would plant a clematis on this side. And then I've ordered some wire, and if you can have a look at the railings, I thought I would wrap the wire horizontally along in strips so that the clematis will climb up and then climb along there. And I did get the idea for this from, I watched a YouTuber about a month ago. I must find him so that I can give him credit for the idea, but he's only young, and he grows beautiful clematis. And I learned something really interesting. He said, have you ever noticed some of your clematis might grow so high and then they stop growing? And that has happened to me. And he reckons, he seems to be the expert on it, he said that if a clematis grows and you get that wispy tendril like this coming out here, if it can't find anything to latch onto, it tells the plant to stop growing. Whereas if it can climb, if it can hang on to something like this mesh that I've wrapped around the tree, it'll continue, maybe with your help, to sort of wrap itself around or up or wherever, and it'll continue to grow. And he said that you need really narrow bits of wire and things for its little tendrils to grow on, which brings me to this. So my husband put this trellis up for me last year, And if you look down at the bottom there, he's also attached a sort of mesh at the bottom. And if you can look just in there, see if I can stand in here, the clematis has latched onto that no problem, but this young guy said it wouldn't be able to latch onto this, although I've tucked it behind there, so I think I might have to put a bit of wire on there as well. And he said that once it can get onto a wire, it'll just take off. Also, what I noticed about this ivy is that it doesn't really look as nice as it used to. All the leaves have this brown spot on, and I don't know what that is, but I do know with ivy that it's very hard to eradicate. So if the clematis doesn't like it here and it doesn't grow, the ivy will come back if I don't keep it under control. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut all this ivy away now. Oh, that's a beautiful bird song. Everything's wet because I was about to cut into it when the heavens opened and we've just had a deluge of rain. So I'll just show you how it's coming off here. I'm sort of loosening it up here. I'm not using my good secateurs on it as well. Just cutting it back like that. And then what I thought is I'll come around here. I can pull it away from this side, and then if you look down there, this is where it's growing. I'll cut it all away from here like that. I'll just keep cutting away. So my thinking is about the clematis, I'll not plant it too close to the ivy roots itself. I'll plant the clematis down there, which is just below the phylacterum here. So I'll plant the clematis here, if I can get in without disturbing the allium or the phylacterum. But this is always the problem when you're sort of trying to do things, even though it's early in the season, the plants are always 5 steps ahead of you. Right, so I managed to get the bit out here without disturbing too much of the crocosmia there. This bit here is sort of heading off in this direction. And I've got one big root there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the spade, or actually I might try it with this. Because what I don't want to do is pull this all up and it's probably shot off into the lawn. I don't want to be pulling the lawn up. So and you just have to keep pulling at it and to see where the roots are that you need to cut. And because there's some root left, he will come back. I'll have to watch him like a hawk. But let's see. That's it. It's a bit of a wallflower there, but I'm not bothered about that. Excellent. So this is the space that I've got now. So I've still got my crocosmia there. He's leaning over slightly. I'll just have to put a little support in for him. But I'm going to dig this area here. You see, I think this is all that ivy. And the wire is due to be delivered tomorrow. So I can wire along here and then get the clematis tied straight in. I'm pleased with that. So I'll just show you some of the clematis that I've got. where I put it and what I'm trying to get it to do. So this is a crabapple tree, and this branch here has completely died off, as has this one, but it has huge sentimental value because it used to be in my mum and dad's garden. So he's just growing in a pot now, but to mask this dead stem here, I've planted a clematis here, right down there, in a tall black tub, and he is growing all the way up here. That's him there, and I'm sort of training him. That's him right up there as well. Training him, and I'll sort of get him to latch onto these branches here. I've got another clematis growing up there. You can just kind of see at the back. Then I have this beautiful piece of old gnarly wood which I've had for years. So I've got a clematis, So I've got a clematis growing in a tub under the hedge there, and he is growing in this gnarly wood, and all his flowers will face this way because this is the direction of the sun. Now over here, this is the clematis that I'm thinking of using to plant there at the base of those railings. So this is a tree, and then right down here, he's just in here because I didn't know where else to put him. He's in a tub there. That's him there, growing up here, but then he's growing out here towards the light, so he's using the tree as a support. And then this is the wispy tendril at the top. So if that young man's right, this clematis will stop growing now because it's got nothing to latch on to. I mean, I could sort of bend it round and put it in the tree, but I think this is an interesting experiment to do. So just before I finish for the evening, there's one more thing I want to show you. And someone commented recently and they said, "Where is your tree fern?" So I told them it got trapped in the greenhouse. For one reason or another, I couldn't get it out in time. It started to grow and then I couldn't get it out the door by myself. So anyway, I looked at this comment and I thought, right, I'm going to go and get the tree fern. So my husband gave me a hand and we managed to get the tree fern out of the greenhouse yesterday. It's in a ridiculously large pot. So it used to be in this area here. So anyway, I got it out yesterday and I've popped it into the courtyard area. So I'll show you where that is. So this is my little courtyard area. For anyone who hasn't seen this before, and that is my tree fern now. So I'm very happy with the way he looks. So he's in a large pot. So I'll put the video where I dress this courtyard I'll put the link in the description box below. And I had originally put this beautiful Acer on the table in that corner of the courtyard. I'll try and go around slowly so as not to make you nauseous. So yes, that Acer was standing up there, and I was bemoaning the fact that my tree fern wasn't there. He used to be much bigger than that, but I snapped a big leaf last year, but he has started to grow again this year. If you can see through there, that is a new baby coming up there. So he's in a big tub on a table that I've painted black. And then I've camouflaged his tub with other pots of ferns, and then in a sort of layered effect all the way down to the bottom there. So I'm really pleased with that. I was going to film us getting the tree fern out of the greenhouse, but I think it would have been like an outtake from a Keystone Cops film. It was very funny but ridiculously difficult to do. So that's it for today. I'm really pleased with what I've got done today. Really pleased with that pathway that's opening up there. It's a beautiful evening here in the northeast of England. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for visiting the garden. And until next time, I'll say bye-bye.